The ICI goes across any discipline and any area. So I have been using it in higher education. I've been using it with boards, and I'm also using it in the hospital area, the hospital arena, looking at people working in healthcare. So I am spreading it, and I've got a couple of other areas that I'm working on introducing it to for profit and not for profit. I'm so excited about it because one of the things I like is that it focuses on competencies. A lot of the instruments that are out there that are focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion, they focus on more of our weaknesses or the biases that we have towards different groups. But the ICI, it really focuses on our strengths, areas that we can develop. And so when you come in and you talk to a group and you say, I have an instrument that is going to allow you to see the strengths that you have, the competencies that you have that can help you be stronger in what you do. While it does give you some insight to some of the blind spots that you have, which are those implicit biases, it is received better because now they're focusing on the competencies. What do I already have in my toolbox, per se, that is going to help me be better in my role, in my leadership, in my interaction with others who are diverse from who I am? So, one of the things that I have seen in using the ICI is this area where when I come in and I first mention it, people are like, wow, this is really great because there is an immediate turnoff when people think about inclusiveness and diversity. They start to think about, oh, what's wrong with me? But when I explain the inclusion competency inventory, they automatically think about, oh, this is really looking at my strengths. They don't see it as a negative, they see it as a positive. So the reaction to the ICI has been very positive, that it's looking at the competencies that all of us hold. And I start off saying, in this imperfect world, we all have biases. We all have implicit biases. That's the starting point. We recognize that's who we are. And let's look at what competencies we have and how do we improve on those. It is um, divided into three different major competencies and then the subcompetencies. So when you look at the ICI, it looks at what I think is the most important thing of all is, do we understand who we are, knowing ourselves in that area of self-awareness and also emotional resilience. So in knowing ourselves, it's like, do I even know who I am? My social identity, um, my my upbringing, the things that influence me the most. And then how do I react to certain situations? How do I bounce back when I'm uncomfortable? When I'm put into these areas of could be conflict or confrontation, it looks at that. And so I really love that, getting into me and understanding who I am. And then knowing others, sometimes we think we know who other people are, but have we really considered who they are deep down inside? And then in that area, I looked at the way that we connect with other people. Do we connect at them with a surface level, or do we really try to connect with them deep? And that deep level of understanding is so important. Um, the I think the thing that I hear the most when I'm doing the debrief and the one-on-one sessions with individuals who have taken the ICI is this category of bridging differences. And we think that, well, I like people and I can really work with this bridging differences. But what I have found out is that this is really hard because we all have our own worldviews and our own perspectives. And sometimes it's hard to value the different perspectives that other people bring to the table, whether it's in a casual conversation or whether it's in a meeting. But this idea of how do we use this competency of bridging differences, valuing the differences, and the power that we have, whether it is um, the power that we have because of our position, the power that we have because of our ethnicity or race, how do we use that power to influence individuals or to create the space of equity? And so that's one of the things that I really like. And then that has often led into these discussions of what is the difference between equity and equality, and being able to talk about that in relationship to power. What does equity look like and what does equality look like in our organizations, and how do we use power to bring about equity versus equality? And the ICI leads to those conversations that can sometimes be very difficult.